Hello and welcome back to another episode of Just an Average Metalhead. I am back again, the Fresh Prince of Darkness, your host Matt, and today we are talking about something which I've been very passionate for a long time, and quite honestly, I think it's time this topic is. Well, I talk about it more, to be fair, and it's about how us as the rock and metal community should just completely ignore the Grammy Awards from now on. It's been fairly obvious for years, in my eyes anyway, like growing up, that we are an afterthought in those awards. And this year's nominations have really driven it home for me how much of an afterthought we are in general. Before I even get into the nominations, like, we're not even on the main show anymore. Like, normally, best metal performance, best rock album, best rock performance, best rock song, they're pre-show fodder. It's not even on the televised stuff. It's all done beforehand. And what incentive does it give the artists in our community to go for that? To go, yeah, we're definitely interested in the Grammys. Come on, let's have it. But when you look more at the nominations this year for this year's awards, it's a joke. It's such a joke. They have picked stuff which is so obvious or that could just be chucked in because it's rock music. It's unbelievable, and I think it's time that we just stick to our own and stop giving a shit. Like, the nominations for best metal performance, for example, this year is Bad Man by Disturbed, which I'm sorry, but Disturbed, as much as I like the band, their early years are the best years. They've not brought anything out that's worthy of a nomination. It's just they are a name, so we will grab them out the fucking hat because they've released something new. And oh look, Disturbed. You remember Sound of Silence, right? Ghost, Phantom of the Opera. Like, I love that song. Like, it's one of my favourite bands covering my favourite band of all time. Like, I'm a Maiden fan for fucking life. Always will be. And that cover is incredible. But you're choosing a cover song for best metal performance over some really fucking forward thinking shit that's come out this year. Nah. Like, it hurts for me to say this, but no. I don't have it. Like, I love Ghost, and if Ghost won that for a Phantom of the Opera, like, I'm not angry, but there's so many better choices, and I will get to that when I get to my big point later on in the video. Metallica, 72 Seasons, the song. Again, Metallica are incredible. That last album is amazing. For me personally, it doesn't deserve the flack that it's getting off everybody else. But it's just a big name they can pull out the hat. They've not even chose for me what's the best song from the album, or even the best song they've released as a single. Granted, they did that for rock rock performance. They chose the best, which is for the other way around. Like, yeah, they chose Luxor Turner for the rock performance, whereas I think that would have been the choice for metal performance. It's more of a metal song than 72 Seasons. But what do I know? I'm not in the Grammy. Again, they don't really know what they're really talking about that much. Sorry, my hair's a bit of a nightmare today. Should have put a hat on. Hive Mind by Slipknot. Again, it's just another name they can pull out of a hat. That, oh yeah, they've released a new song this year. Chuck them in. Because, again, I love Slipknot, but for me, Slipknot is diminishing returns. Every album, yes, they are trying something new, but it's to less quality than the album before. Like, I will never stop loving Slipknot, but when what they are doing is to less quality, I have to fucking call it when I see it. Like, granted, Hive Mind is a good modern day Slipknot performance, but roll back the years, is it anything compared to like Volume 3? No. When there's so much more like forward thinking like metal songs that they could have chose from. And the last one is Jaded by Spirit Box, which is everything that I've said about. But it's there as a token. Like, it's not going to get chosen to win. I will be genuinely surprised if Spirit Box win that nomination, because they do the same every year. There's always one thing that's really cutting edge, high quality, and it never wins. Like, I can't remember what it was. I think it was a Mastodon song that was up for a Grammy nomination, and it was beaten by Tenacious D covering Dio. Love Tenacious D. I love Tenacious D more than fucking anything. They're amazing and they're so much fun. But they shouldn't have won a Grammy Award over that Mastodon song, you know? I think it was Mastodon, but there was one song that was like, it would have knocked everything out of the fucking park, and Tenacious D won. Right. Okay, next. Best rock album. There's some of this which I genuinely think is top fucking notch. And the fact that it's probably not going to win is slightly annoying, but again, it's little things that bother me about it as well. Like, the Foo Fighters, But Here We Are. For me, this is one of the best albums of this year. It's unbelievable. Absolutely incredible. And the fact that they could make it after suffering a loss like they did when they lost Taylor, as you can hear in my voice, that still hurts for me. Taylor Hawkins was an incredible talent and taken too soon. And the fact that they dusted themselves off and came back swinging with probably one of the best albums of their career, they need a nod for that. But I have a problem with it later down the line. Greta Van Fleet, Starcatcher. For me, again, it's just a name they can pull from. I've listened to that Greta Van Fleet album and I'm not impressed. I don't really get the hype with Greta Van Fleet. They are just, for me, a poor man's like Led Zeppelin. The hype for them is just too much. They've been shoved down my throat so many times now that I just don't get it. And like, the music is good, but it's nothing new, and it's not done to the standard that other bands like them are doing. So I don't get why the nod. 72 Seasons, the new Metallica album has been done for that again. I've spoken in a previous video about how much I love that new Metallica album. But this is where we are missing out on, why is there just one category for metal? Like, again, there's so many really good metal albums that deserve the nod. And oh yeah, fuck them. We'll chuck them in with the rock album, and it's stuff like that really grinds my gears, and I just don't like. It's not all was one, but again, for me, like as good as the new Metallica album is, it doesn't deserve to be in the best category. Best album. There are moments on the album which are mind blowing, but it's not in my top 5 albums of this year. It just isn't. Paramore. This is the way. This is why. Sorry. Sorry, I'm thinking Mandalorian then. Again, for me, it's a good album, but should it be there? As much as I love Paramore, it's a slight return to form, but it's still nothing for me. I love Paramore. Like I was an emo kid growing up. Paramore was the shit. I just don't get why. Again, for me, it just seems like a name they can pull out of the hat and go, "Oh yeah, Paramore." They're big. They were big. Oh no, I suppose they still are big, but I don't know. And Queens of the Stone Age, In Times New Roman, is the last for best rock album. Again, it's a good album. It's a very good album. Do I think it's going to win? Probably not. To be fair, for this year's best rock album category, I think it's either going to be Metallica or Greta Van Fleet. I'd be surprised if it was Foo Fighters. I want the Foo Fighters to win that, but it's going to be Metallica or Greta Van Fleet because they're what the normals want. So that's what we get. Rock performance. Oh, this is where I start getting irritated. We've got the Arctic Monkeys, Sculptures of Anything Goes. Have the Arctic Monkeys done anything of note lately, apart from disappearing up their own bumholes? No, not really. That band, I swear to God, were put on this earth to just enrage me. I get that they're massive, and I get why people like them, but they started off with so much promise and talent, and they have disappeared up their own fucking assholes. Just so for things like this to happen. They're not the amazing shining light of English rock that they were once. They are just pure Radio 1 fodder now, and I just no. I can't really comment on it. I've done my best to like listen to some of this other stuff, but I didn't get round to listen to the Black Pumas because a couple of other artists on these lists just broke me for why they're there. And Black Puma's More Than a Love Song. It could be great. I didn't. I lost my temper, and I didn't really. It's on me. I didn't check it out. But if it's like the other stuff that's on this list, I'm out. Boy Genius in best rock performance. Not strong enough. It's fucking pop music. It's fucking pop music, and they've chucked it in because it's got a bit of a guitar to it. Is that all we are now? Oh, it's got a bit of guitar. Fucking chuck it in. it's so just straight up pop music. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's got like an alternative tinge, but it's like a strand of cress on a fucking vindaloo. It's barely there. You wouldn't even fucking notice it. It disgusts me as somebody who's been a fan of rock and metal for, I'll show my age here, 23 years now. I first started getting into this music in about the year 2000. I've been a beacon for forward thinking rock music and metal music and just trying everything. Like, I'm not opposed to pop music, but when it's shoved into our world and said, here, it's rock, take it, I'm not. Like, I've got a video coming out next week, or maybe towards the back end of this week, and depending on how much time I've got in my schedule. Because I want to do a video about Download Festival, but I also want to do a video about Power to Play by McFly, and why people should check it out and not just write McFly off. But I know McFly's pop music. I will never throw it in to the world of rock, but it's there. That influence is there more than fucking Boy Genius. It just makes me angry. It really fucks me off. Again, the last two choices are Foo Fighters Rescued, which amazing track, and it's got so much heart behind it. You could really feel what Dave's feeling, and as I previously mentioned, Lux Eterna by Metallica, which should have been the best metal performance, because Lux Eterna is probably one of the best Metallica songs they've written in a long, long, long time. Right, again, I'm not going to rant again about it enough, but we're on the best rock song category. We have got Boy Genius, again, not strong enough. Done that. It's just straight up pop music. It's bullshit. Foo Fighters Rescued, just said about that. I think that's the one that it deserves to win this year. It's Dave Grohl poured his heart out on that song, and it deserves so much recognition. This is another one that really fucking grinds my gears, and that is Olivia Rodrigo, Ballad of a Homeschooled Girl. I rage quit when I heard this, because I was going to listen to that Black Puma song, and I thought, if it's going to be like this, nah. It's just straight up pop music. And the previous years she's been nominated for Grammys, it's been in the pop category. Why has she been fucking chucked into the rock category this year? I have no idea. It's shit. There are bands giving their blood, sweat and fucking tears in the rock scene, but now they're just throwing pop artists in because it's fucking rock music, nobody cares. But it doesn't matter, because she's going to be recognised elsewhere in the Grammys, so who gives a shit? We'll chuck her in with rock as well, fuck it. It's just, that's how much of an like, we're the fucking redheaded stepchild, no fucking pun intended, of the music scene in these sort of areas, so who fucking cares? Queens of the Stone Age, Emotion Sickness, again, it's a good song. I'm not entirely sure if that's the song I would have picked, but again, it's good. Again, for me, it just feels more of either a name. They brought a new album out, that's alright. We'll chuck them in. And again, Rolling Stones brought a new song out. Angry. I'm not a fan. I don't think it deserves to be there. But you know, next when it comes to the 2025 Grammys, that new Beatles song's going to be in there because they're the legends of the scene. We've got to give them a nod. Where, quite frankly, I think Angry and that new Beatles song are dog shit. If it was released by anybody else, it would have been shat on. But because it's released by these legends, who gives a fuck? Let's applaud it. Yeah, that's genuinely how I feel. Like, I love the Rolling Stones. I hate the Beatles. Sorry. Crucify me all you like. Don't like the Beatles. Never really got them. I understand why they're as big as they are, and their influence. I know full well that if there wasn't for the Beatles, there would be no Ozzy, no Lemmy, no nothing. But it's not for me. So yeah, they're our categories, and I think we have been royally fucked on both. And then I looked at this year's nominations for just the general best album of the year. And this is what gets me. It's always like the usual subjects with a little bit of different thrown in. But like, if we like just look at this year's and like this and last year's, and we are missing from both. Like, when there was high quality of music from our scene included, that should have been included. I mean, and it never is. Like this year, the best album of the year nominations. There's like Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo. I told you she's appearing elsewhere. She's been nominated for best album. So if she doesn't win the rock one, she's in for that one. Lana Del Rey, Miley Cyrus, Boy Genius. There we go again. So technically, is some rock nominations, but previously they are just been nominated for pop shit. But because we can throw them in. Oh yeah, rock's got some representation. Yay! No, we haven't. No. And like you look at last year, ABBA. Oh yeah, the returning ABBA. Of course they got a nomination. One of the biggest bands of all time bring an album out of nowhere. Yeah, of course they're going to get recognised. Adele, again, usual subject. Bad Bunny, he was massive at the time. No, I'm not crapping on what Bad Bunny does. He's very good at what he does, but again, he's just riding the zeitgeist. Beyonce, Mary J. Blige, Coldplay, Brandy Carlisle, which is more country than it is rock music, but it won a load of rock music categories last year. Again, thank you, Grammys. Kendrick Lamar, Lizzo, Harry Styles, just all the usual suspects you expect. Like this year, if I was going to nominate some albums for best album that belong in our world, like these even belong in at the best rock album category of the Grammys this year. But they also should be in best album because they're so high quality. Like the new Avenged Sevenfold album, Life Is But a Dream. It took me a long time for it to click with me. A long time. I hated it when it first came out. I hated it, but I have ridden it out. And that album is genius. I'll be honest, I still prefer the old stuff, but I will nod to genius when I fucking see it. Smile by Skindred. Honestly, one of the best rock and metal albums that has been released for years. Is Smile by Skindred, but they're not big enough to get the nod. So there we go. Sanguivore by Creeper. Again, one of the best albums, not just in the rock and metal category, just in general, it should have got a nod, but it hasn't. And I dare say, if it's like same with like Skindred and Creeper, if they've missed the cut off for this year, they won't even be acknowledged next year. It's just how it goes. They're just not big enough, but they fucking should be. And this is a platform that should recognise quality like this. Breathe. Again, the new Foo Fighters album. It should have been a nod for just best album, not just because it's in the general category, that best album that I've mentioned. That Foo Fighters album should be in there. The new The Above by Code Orange. Jesus fucking Christ! Why was that not in the metal performance? Something off that in the metal performance category or in the best rock album. Holy shit! Code Orange can do no wrong, and it's fucking amazing. Same as A Kiss for the Whole World by Enter Shikari. Jesus fucking Christ, that album is good, but it doesn't get recognised. Like, even if you wanted to recognise someone from their fucking world, the new Corey Taylor album, or put fucking 72 Seasons in the best album category. Give us more of a nod. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, it's been like this year after year after year, and there's still metal fans out there going, oh yeah, look at the Grammy and blah 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 blah. I'm like, we're not even part of it anymore. We need to just stick to our fucking lane. Ignore what the Grammys are saying, because they don't have a clue about how our world works. As far as they're concerned, we're just fucking sweaty grebos in a cut-off. And we're more than that. We are one of the most positive spaces I've ever been a part of. Granted, at times it goes the other way, but very rarely. And it's a very small minority of people. Because I'm going to get to that when I talk about the download announcement. But, yeah, we should. It's the same as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Grammys don't care. And they never will. Not anymore, because our music is just nothing to them now. They chucked us in when we were massive, and they haven't had the heart to take us out. But it's from this year's nominations alone, it's obvious they do not give a shit. Unless they're aiming their things at fucking indie fucking hipster weirdos. Who cares? I'm done with the Grammys. I'm so done with the Grammys, and I think you should be too. Oh, well, I need to calm myself down now because I've wound myself up. But I will be a lot more positive on my next video, I promise. But I just needed to get this poison out of my system, and you guys are my best way of doing that. So again, thank you for watching another episode of Just an Average Metalhead. Please subscribe to the channel. There's so much more fun stuff going. I have the free time now again, so I can start getting some of this stuff down. And thank you for the response to the Skin Dread video. It's been absolutely amazing. I wasn't expecting the response it got, especially with how long it's been for videos in between. Love, love, love all of you. You're amazing. Keep it heavy. Live your best life. Die your best death. I'll catch you on the other side. See you later, guys.